Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Fajira. If you're seeing this beautiful face for the very first time, I'm so happy to have you all in our beautiful family. For my returning subscribers, thank you for always coming back to watch my videos. I really do appreciate. God bless you. And if you're new to this channel, I create content on how you can migrate to the UK, jobs or visa sponsorship in the UK immigration updates live in the UK, scholarships in the UK, like everything that can help you relocate and settle in the UK. Those are things I share on this channel. I haven't spent over 13 years of my life in this country. So if you're someone who is interested in such content, do hit on that subscribe button. Or if you know anybody who may be interested, please do like and share this video with them, because I'm sure they will find it helpful. In today's video, guys, I've got this update regarding sponsoring yourself to the UK, or if you're currently in the UK and you want to remain in the UK, sponsoring yourself to stay back in the UK without having to go look for a company. At the end of the day, while your visa is still with Home Office for approval, the company loses their license. And you know what happens when the company loses their license? The visa will not be approved. A lot are actually going through this, which is why I'm sharing this video, because the thing about staying back in the UK or migrating to the UK is getting a sponsorship. Some of this sponsorship with companies that the Home Office are currently investigating, what happens is that maybe they end up losing their license, or maybe at the end of the day they don't end up losing their license. But a lot are actually going through this, which is why I'm sharing this video. I've got lots of questions from my beautiful viewers who are like, oh Fajira, I'm currently in the UK, my license has been revoked, and also the company that brought my wife, the license has been revoked as well. We've gotten another company and we applied for a visa, and before we knew, the company license has been revoked. We are stranded. Guys, there are so many things you can do to stay back in the UK. I've stayed in this country for the past 13 years, going to 14 years now of my life, and I can relate when I get such messages, because there's nothing as good as staying in a country legally. Because once you're staying in a country legally, there's this boldness, that comes with it, which is why I encourage my viewers that whatever you do, make sure you stay in this country legally. Because you know, when you're not staying legally, maybe you've overstayed or you've become illegal, once you see a police car, you will be scared. Or maybe you even hear the ambulance come, you won't know it's even ambulance, you will think it's a police. Next thing, you start running. There is a woman currently now in the UK. She's been in this country for a long time. Because of running, because she heard the police siren, she broke her knee. Until today, she's struggling with that knee to walk. And that's because she's been in this country illegally. So when I share videos, like I always share videos reminding you, my beautiful viewers, that there is nothing as good as staying in a country legally. Because when you're legal, why will you run when you see a police? For those who asked me about the Global Talent Visa, the Global Talent Visa is a visa that allows you to sponsor yourself to stay in the UK, and you can stay in the UK. Just as you can see, I'm going to be sharing my screen with you. As you can see, the overview of Global Talent Visa. As you can see, you can apply for a Global Talent Visa to work in the UK if you are a leader or potential leader in one of the following fields: academia or research, arts and culture, digital technology. You must also be at least 18 years and above. Now, I'm going to take digital technology because we know that the whole world now is becoming more of tech. Women in tech, men in tech, boys in tech, girls in tech. One of the things you can do to apply for the Global Talent Visa, if you want to sponsor yourself without having to go through the stress of, oh Fajira, my company license has been revoked, oh Fajira, they've given me 60 days to live, is to go through one of these, and I'm going to take the tech. But now I have got a platform where you can do your training. This guy, Analytics, got in touch with me, and it's to be live here on my YouTube channel on the 19th of October, which is Saturday at 8 p.m. So please, I'm leaving all their links to their platform for you to do your independent research, and also leaving the link to their testimonies so you can listen to their testimonies, do your independent research, and gather here on Saturday, 19th of October, 8 p.m., which is tomorrow, and join the live so you will be able to ask all your questions. Because when they got in touch with me, I was like, what do you do? And they sent me their website, they sent me everything. I've been to their Instagram page, I've also been to their website and I've also listened to the testimonies. One of the things they do is to train you. Now you can get experience through different means. You can get through training or maybe experience during work. Now what they do, they're going to help you to train you on business analyst, data analyst, all those tech jobs that will enable you get jobs with visa sponsorship for free. Now You know what it is paying for COS and paying for IHS? Now, there are some companies that actually recruit people in the UK. We actually benefited from that. Now, when they recruit you, you don't have to even pay, including your visa fee. They take care of everything, including your IHS, for 5 years. And you know what that is? A lot of families right now are struggling, especially those that came on the student visa. Once there are more than 4 in the family, it's a big struggle, even 2, because you have to pay IHS for 2 years if you want to apply for a post-study work visa, and you pay for every member of your family. But how would you feel if you get the necessary skills in tech, or let's say you get the necessary skills in data analyst, and you are able to find a job that will sponsor you for free? And once they sponsor you, they take care of that. We experience it. For me to come out here to say that this is what we experienced, and we got the job, we got the sponsorship, and from there we counted our stay, and here we are today. So I'm going to have 10 analytics on my YouTube channel tomorrow. Please make sure you do your research, write all your questions, do your findings, and come and join us tomorrow. So they will be able to answer all your questions, because they're not only going to train you, they will train you, they will help you apply for jobs with visa sponsorship. They will also help you prepare you for interview. They will also help you revamp your CV to best fit the training you have gotten. And like I said, you can get trainings in 2 different ways. You could get it through experience at work, or to get it through training from any organizations. To be honest, there are so many organizations that do this, but when 10 analysts got in touch with me, I was like, okay, let me find out more about you. And it's not just restricted to those in the UK. Even if you're in Nigeria, even if you're in Canada, you're in US, you're in any part of the world, these are skills that you can use to get a job that will sponsor you. Not only sponsoring you just in case you've gotten your resident permit, these jobs can also give you good amount of money. You can get contracting, and you know what people earn as contractors. Some people earn up to £750 a day, some earn up to £800 a day. How would you feel that you wake up every day and you're counting £800, you're counting £600, you're counting £500 per day? And the good thing about contracting is you are the one to determine what you have spent in your organization. So even when you're paying your tax, you have to remove all your expenses before paying your tax. So I'm going to have 10 analytics on this platform tomorrow. So invite your friends, invite your family to come and join us. So you can move to the UK or also renew your stay with the Global Talent Visa. Now, a lot of people come to me, Fajira, I need somebody to do that for me. Sometimes in life, guys, you need to get the necessary experience and skills, because even if you pay somebody to do it, there is this passion that if you're doing your job yourself, you will be able to know what to do, because you know there is a target you have set for yourself, and you will work so hard to achieve that target. So how would it feel that you have the necessary skills, especially with the Global Talent Visa, as you can see on my screen, that says you can move to the UK as a digital technology? Like, you can do that. If you have the experience and you're able to do that yourself, then you get a company to endorse you, and once that company endorses you, you can now use the endorsement letter to apply for your visa yourself without having a third party to help you. One of the things that is very important in UK is getting the necessary experience. And once you get the necessary experience, a lot of doors will be opened for you. I shared my story about relocating to the UK. And one of the jobs I went for them, because I was working in the hospitality industry, was a guest relation representative. And when I got to the job interview, after the interview, I was invited for another interview, and I was kind of curious, like, did I not do well in this interview that these guys have invited me for another interview? And I got on the lift and I asked the lady that, oh, how did the interview go? After the interview, she was like, you know what, Faith, I'm not going to say much. We think that you have enough skills and you have enough experience for a bigger level of a center manager, so we are going to invite you for another interview as a center manager. And I was like, what? So one of the things I took out from there is my years of experience in the hospitality industry. And this is a hospitality industry that they are looking for a guest relation assistant now, and they are also looking for a center manager to run the building. Now, I was qualified for a center manager role because they thought the guest relation officer role was kind of too small for me. And now, when I went back for the second interview, they were like, we didn't really want to interview you. We just wanted to get to see you because we've heard so much about you from your previous interview. So this is a manager you're going to be working with. To be honest, that day I was like, wow, can something like this happen? Like, can something like this really happen? And after that, they asked me about my sponsorship and everything, and I told them. And at that point, if I didn't have a sponsorship, the company would have sponsored me, which is why I had always mentioned on this channel that most companies that sponsor, they don't really advertise their role with sponsorship. They just need you to have the necessary skills. And once you have the necessary skills, sponsorship is no more a problem. So when they asked me about my visa and everything, and they were like, oh, that's fine, then we don't really have to worry about that. Because when I was looking for sponsorship, then they would just apply for me and my family. I say it is very important because I know a lot of people have been talking about care job. We've come to a time that the care job is not really working. What is really working now is tech. And with tech, you could get a company that you don't have to pay for any of the IHS fee. You don't have to pay for visa application. You don't really have to pay for anything for you and your family. With the Global Talent Visa that allows you to sponsor yourself. Now, this visa does not only allow you to sponsor yourself, you can also sponsor your dependents. We all know that with the care job now, you can't really come with dependent right now because of the new rules. But now, if you already have the skills, hands-on skills that will enable you get a job in such organization. Now, most of those organizations, they even start their pay from 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. With the new law, you have to earn up to £38,700 to be able to have your dependents with you in the UK. So for me, I think the best thing to start looking out for is tech, because people in tech, they are making so much money, guys. They are really making money. Apart from tech as well, HR experience and so on. And for those who ask me about how many years you have to stay on the Global Talent Visa for you to get your resident permit, you could stay up to 3 years to get your resident permit, or you could stay up to 5 years to get your resident permit. So it depends on how many years you've got your endorsement for. One thing you have to know is that your endorsement letter is valid for 3 months, but at the same time, if the company withdraws the endorsement before the 3 months, then you cannot use it to apply for your visa. So always make sure that once you get your endorsement letter, you apply for your visa. Now, like I said, that these are things you can do yourself. You don't really need a third party to enable you do this. There are a few people in the UK who asked me about switching to this visa. So you might be able to apply to switch to Global Talent Visa if you are already in the UK on a different type of visa. Your partner or children will need to apply separately to switch their visa. They can either apply at the same time as you or at any time before your current visa expires. You should apply before your current visa expires. So just in case you came as a student to the UK to study, you finished your study, you don't want to go through the post-study work route, which is a longer route, and you want to switch to Global Talent Visa, you can actually switch with your dependent. So eligibility to switch to a Global Talent Visa, you must be in the UK and have either won an eligible award, proven that you're a leader or potential leader in one of the fields covered by the visa. This is also called getting an endorsement. If you're currently in the UK on a student visa, you must also have either completed the course you were sponsored to study for a PhD for at least 24 months. You can't switch if you have not completed your course, which is a regular requirement for those who have migrated to the UK as students. If you are applying for an endorsement, the fields you must prove you're a leader or potential leader in are academia or research, arts and culture, digital technology. You must apply to switch to the Global Talent Visa within 3 months of getting an endorsement, which I earlier said that if your endorsement is more than 3 months, you may not be able to use it. You cannot apply for visa if the organization that endorsed you has withdrawn their approval. So just as you can see, who cannot apply to switch to this visa? So you know, for everyone who has been asking me this question, you cannot apply to switch to this visa if you are currently in the UK in one of the following circumstances: on a visit visa, on a short-term student visa, on a parent of a child visa, on a seasonal worker visa, on a domestic worker in a private household visa, on immigration bill, if you were given permission to stay outside the immigration rules, for example, compassionate grounds. You must leave the UK and apply for a Global Talent Visa from abroad if you are in one of these categories. As you can see, there are some categories that cannot switch to this visa. So which means that if you are a dependent of a care worker and maybe the person whom you came with have been having challenges with their sponsorship, which is a normal problem now, the sponsorship license revocation is kind of a normal problem now in the UK. You can look into going into the Global Talent Visa and apply for a new visa. But like I said, you must have the skills. You must prove that you are qualified for this visa. And like you know, the UK is not really about your education, your certification. Is more of experience. And once you prove that you've got this experience, it's definitely going to push you further. So guys, this is just what it is on the global talent visa. But before we go, somebody was asking me how long do you have to stay. I have already mentioned that at the start, but I'll just take that as you can see on the Gov website, how long you can stay. You can choose how long you want to apply for, up to 5 years at a time. After you apply, you can stay in the UK until you get your decision. If you have settled or pre-settled status under the EU settlement scheme, you do not need to apply for a visa. So this is just what it is. For everyone who has been asking me, Fajira, this is what we are going through, my family is going through that. Like I said, you don't really have to spend so much money for your visa if you have the right skills. There are a lot of companies that are looking for people to sponsor, provided you can work with them, provided you have the skills. And these are things that I would like you, my beautiful viewers, to start looking at. So don't forget to join us tomorrow, Saturday 19th at 8 p.m. for our live. Come with your questions, and I'm sure 10 analysts are going to answer all these questions. At the same time, I'm leaving their links. Do your independent research before you come, okay? See you tomorrow in my live. And if you find this video helpful, or you know anybody who may be interested, please do like, share this video with them, and also subscribe and turn on your notification bell. But don't forget, I will be live tomorrow. So in case you have any other questions apart from this one, I will be live to answer all your questions, and also with 10 analytics. So they are going to bring this opportunity to you to see how you can navigate and explore and get the best results you've been looking at for. Thank you very much, and see you in my next video. Bye bye for now.